Welcome to this Biscuit Boys Extra with me, the Gabby Cabby, in a pub in Solihull. Nice little pub, nice little quiet, in association with Northern Exposure and on SRB Radio. It's brilliant, Bab, thank you, you've done us proud. And that was the young lady who's managing the Sharman's Cross pub and has turned the music down so we can hear ourselves think, Dermot, and we can have a little bit of a chat, and you can tell me all about what you're doing with the festival in Croatia, other festivals in Croatia, and the other festivals that you work in throughout Europe. How are you, and welcome to our show?
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's good to be here. Okay, so yeah, I'm Dermot, and I'm from a company called EU Fest, which is a specialist travel company for people who go to music festivals in Europe. And at the moment, one of the things we're working on with In Music Festival in Croatia, which takes place at the end of June this year, we've organised a competition called All About the Music, and we're looking for an unsigned band from the UK who's going to go and open the main stage at the festival in Croatia in June.
Now, I saw this on Rachel Brown's Northern Exposure website, and I thought, if it looks too good to be true, it often is, isn't it? But this isn't. This is too good to be true. But it is good to be true, isn't it? Yeah. You know, there's no hidden agendas. There's no nothing. There's no kind of enter this competition and you win the prize, and then you have added money that you have to find from somewhere. Hey, this one in the bargain. I didn't know anything about it. But this is, as it says on the tin, enter the competition, tell people how they can enter the competition, and then it's all expenses paid. Do you put the artists up in the hotel? What's the rest of the crack? Okay. I want to know everything. I want to know the A to Z of everything. By the end of this broadcast, I don't want any artist say, Gabby, you should have asked him that. I wanted to know that. I want you to tell us all about it.
Okay, so entering's dead simple. You email us one track as an MP3 to AATM, stands for All About the Music, at eufest.com, okay, which is the travel company that we run. And then we listen to all the tracks that come in. We have them on a playlist. I've been listening to them in the office, listening to them in the car, listening to them in the kitchen with my kids. And me and some of the other guys who help organise the competition, we all listen to all the entries for about a month solid. Yeah. Okay? And then at the end of the month, we get together and we have a bit of a row about which ones we like the most.
Which you do.
Yeah. And we choose 5 finalists who are going to play at the live final, which takes place at the Zephyr Lounge in Leamington Spa at the end of April, Thursday the 28th of April.
Okay.
And so then we get the 5 finalists down there. We pay 50 quid to each band just to cover their travel expenses and stuff. And then they play at the final in front of a panel of judges. One of them is going to be Rachel, from Northern Exposure. Very kindly agreed to do that. And another one is going to be one of the previous winners from a couple of years back, a guy called Sam Christie from Stop Drop Robot. And so on the night, the judges listen to the 5 bands, play 15 minutes each, and then they pick a winner, and that winner is going to Croatia. And they get their flights paid for, they get accommodation in the festival campsite, so they're not put up in a hotel.
It's a tent.
It's a tent, but it's free.
Exactly.
And you don't get paid for playing, but it doesn't cost you anything to play there. And you don't have to beg for votes on Facebook. You don't have to pay any money to enter or any money to get into the final or to go to the festival. Just literally email us your track, and if you're invited to play in the final, you get paid to come to the final, and if you win the final, you get paid to go to the festival and open in front of 5,000 people for someone like PJ Harvey or Jake Bugg or Florence and the Machine, who are the headliners this year.
Yeah.
So you'll be opening on the main stage for one of those bands.
When do the do you close it at any time?
Yeah.
When would that closing date be?
Closing date is the end of March, so we haven't got long to go now. And then we announce the 5 finalists the first week of April.
Oh, okay. Because by the time Mrs. Brown gets hold of this, this is going to be quite near the end of bloody March.
Yeah. We could maybe extend it a couple of days if we need to, because it's our competition. We can bend the rules we want to.
Exactly.
But we do have to give the bands enough time.
Yes, you do.
We can't say you're in the final and it's next week.
Yes.
We've got to give them time to sort things out. So about a month, we reckon, is long enough for them to make those kind of arrangements.
How many have you had so far?
We've had quite a lot of entries. The standard's been really, really good this year. Which is because a lot of years in the past, we've been running the competition now for, I think this is the fourth year we've been doing it. And when we first started out doing it, we got a lot of guys who were like sort of tinkering around with music in their bedrooms and stuff like that. I know they're dead enthusiastic, but maybe not up to the standard required. This year, we've had maybe a few less entries we have in the past, but the standard's been phenomenal. It's been really, really high. So we're really excited. I'm not looking forward to choosing the final 5. Let's put it that way.
I'm not looking forward for any kind of involvement in that where you have to pick the winner because the judges on the night, although you're picking the final 5, they're the ones that have got to pick the final one. And that is going to be very difficult because I'm guessing they're different styles and different genres. Are you looking for anything in particular?
The only limitation we put on it is that you have to be an artist that writes and records their own music. You know? So no cover bands, no karaoke singers. You know, apart from that, any genre's welcome. I mean, obviously, with the style of the festival that it is, there's certain bands that maybe fit with the rest of the lineup better, and that might be a consideration. If it comes down to choosing between 2 bands who are both dead good for the final, it might be, well, these guys might fit in a bit better than these guys. But we've had metal bands in the past, we've had more poppy bands, but mainly it's sort of proper rock bands, you know.
You're looking for indie, rock, mod type of bands, aren't you?
Yeah.
That would be a perfect fit for a perfect festival.
But we're open
in
to
Croatia.
I mean, the first year's winners were they described themselves as happy hard ska.
What were they?
And then there's Stop Drop Robot, who I mentioned, who won a couple of years back. They're kind of like very electronic rock. It's like a fusion of rock and lots of elements of dance music. So we're open to anyone. Right? As long as you're good enough, then you're good enough.
Now, there are an amazing amount of phenomenally talented artists. The day that you dropped it onto Rachel's website, which is all the w's.northern-exposure.co, no.co.uk, just ends in .co. I saw Rachel then.
Oh, she was blasting it out. It was great.
She does. She is the most inspirational person I've ever met. The girl is an absolute diamond. When you get somebody like Rachel on board, you want to keep them on board because people like that I've found are very few and far between.
Absolutely.
She's different class, and she will get so many artists and link them into your email address.
aatm@eufest.com.
You see, you can't say that enough.
Yeah.
And you can't, can you? It's like on Twitter and on Facebook. You can't post enough because you've got to keep banging away at it. Because again, a lot of people will look at it and they'll go, "It's too good to be true. It's too
There's
good."
got to be a catch.
Because I did when I first looked at it, and that's why I phoned you up, and that's why we're meeting today. Because you know there are a load of sharks out there in the music industry, aren't there?
Oh, absolutely.
That do stuff
and
like that.
There's hundreds of competitions out there now, and we've all seen them. If you're in a band, you've probably been in like half a dozen of them, and there's always something, you know. Yeah. You have to pay to enter, or you have to commit to selling so many tickets, or get so many votes on Facebook. And I mean, the reason we called it this competition all about the music is because there is nothing else except for the music. Yeah, you know, we're not interested in how many tickets you sell or how many people like you on Facebook, because that just means you're good at Facebook.
Or
you're not necessarily good at music.
Or you've got a budget.
Yeah.
Because you can buy Facebook likes.
Yeah.
You can buy Twitter followers. You can buy all these things to make you look better. The one thing that it can't do is it can't make you sound better.
No. And there's nothing like being put in front of a live panel of judges and just being told you've got 15 minutes, get up there and show us what you got. Yeah. And you can have all the Facebook followers in the world, but that's not going to make any difference when you're up on stage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No chances, no romancers, just proper.
I don't mind the odd romancer, they're all right.
Well, that's from my mate's Broken with Rebels, that's Danny Core, that's his line. No chances, no romancers, Gabby. You know, tell me all about the music, your Facebook site there, which is all about this music.
Okay, so the Facebook page for the competition is facebook.com/weareaatm.
Okay.
And the picture, if you search for us on Facebook, you'll see a picture of just like a little pink hand doing the devil horns on a black background. Yeah. So pretty easy to find. And just go there, like the page. If you want to post your track up there and help support the page, share your music with a bit of a wider audience, we've got no problem with that. You know, if you start spamming us 100 times a day saying buy our crap, then we might delete your post. But If you want to put up a track and say, this is what we put in the competition, see what other people think of it, that's fine. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, sharing's caring.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I share an awful lot.
I've noticed.
Thank you very much. Because I care about the music, and I want artists to look at stuff like this and get involved with festivals like this. It's important. It's very difficult these days to get your music heard on FM radio stations. The playlist is it's almost so controlled, it's beyond comprehension. This is a golden opportunity for artists, and I can't stress enough, get involved with these guys if you are listening. I mean, the Biscuit Boys, we're going to support you all the way through, and next year as well. Fantastic. And going forward, we're not going to just support you now and then leave you. We want to form friendships with you and help you going forward.
All the help we can get, we're not too proud to ask. So anything that you guys can do for anyone else who's out there who wants to get involved, thinks they've got something they can add, website designers or people who run radio shows or people like Rachel who've got really powerful kind of communities already going. If they want to give us a call, give us an email. Yeah, we'd love to have you on board. It'd be great.
Only an idiot says, no, I don't need any help.
Yeah.
So don't know. Only an idiot would say, no, I don't know. Because everybody needs help. It doesn't matter who you are. Now, I was looking at the DVD, the video of, was it a 10-year anniversary last year or the year before?
Yeah.
Franz Ferdinand were on there, and I thought, wow, blimey. And it looks a great place as well. Whereabouts in Croatia is it?
So it's just outside Zagreb.
Yeah.
And it's on an island in the middle of a lake, which is called Lake Jaran, which is like the lake of youth in Croatian. And so there's 3 islands in the middle of the lake. One of them's the festival site, and the other 2 are the campsite. And they're connected for the festival. They're connected by this really shonky kind of floating plastic bridge, which you have to stumble across from the campsite. I did
notice that. Yeah. Perhaps best if Gabby don't go there.
Yeah, it's a bit dangerous. It's all right getting there. They're like, they have a little lifeboat actually patrolling up and down by the bridge just in case.
Yeah.
So but I wouldn't recommend falling off. It's not particularly deep, but it's probably a bit cold.
Yeah. And obviously drinks going to be taken at festivals.
I have seen it happen once or twice,
I bet there's a few got in there and used that fighting over the damn lifeboat.
But you can. They've got a little beach on one of the islands where you can go swimming in the lake. It's Croatia. It's 35 degrees most of the time. In the summer. So I have seen it rain once or twice, but usually it's scorching out there. Perfect festival weather.
So you won't need your wellies like you do at Glastonbury?
No guarantees, but probably not. No.
So
it's a different vibe out in Europe. The festival, because the festivals don't start till the music starts at like maybe 6 in the evening.
Yeah.
So like in Glastonbury, it starts at midday and midnight everything shuts down. These guys don't start till like 6. Headliners come on maybe about like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And just party till the early hours of the morning because it's too hot to really get on it during the day.
Yeah.
So in the daytime, everyone just sleeps or hang out in the campsite, and they can do like yoga and meditation and slacklining and have massages and stuff, and then have a few beers, head over the Shonky Bridge, and go to the festival.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
SRBRadio.com.
And tickets, how do people get hold of the tickets?
Okay, you can buy the tickets through our website, which is eufest.com, and just scroll down the page till you see In Music.
Yeah.
It's one of the first few festivals up there, I think. And you can buy tickets. We also sell hotels in Zagreb as well, so you can get your accommodation sorted in the same place.
How much are the tickets?
Tickets are £30 for 3 days, or £50 for 3 days plus camping for 7 days. So it's an absolute bargain.
So there's 30 quid just for the festival.
Yeah.
And if you want to camp there, it's 50 quid. Does that include?
That includes
the
festival and the camping.
So it's £20 for the camping and £30 for the
festival. Yeah, I know. So you compare that to somewhere like Reading or Glastonbury, and you could get your own private jet out there almost and buy a ticket and come home and it'll still be cheaper.
So 50 sheets, you can literally camp there.
Yep.
It's proper cheap holiday,
for 7 days.
Really, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
7 days?
Yeah, 7 days camping, 3 days festival in Zagreb, one of the capital cities of Eastern Europe. So you can take a few days. Oh, that's fantastic. So do it, folks.
I tell you what, you've actually stunned me. 50 quid.
Yeah.
Just 50 quid for
3 days festival and a week's
for
camping.
A week in Zagreb.
Yeah.
And you're even going to get 3 days festival music thrown in for you. 50 quid.
50 quid, yeah. But prices go up on like 14th of April, but for now it's 50 quid.
Get on, get in there now, folks.
But they'll go up to like 60 quid. It's one of the best value festivals around, I think.
It's RBRadio.com.
Now, talk to me about your EU Fest, which is your company. So we've talked about the festival. Is there anything else that you want to elaborate on the festival?
No, just that it's one of the loveliest festivals I think I've ever been to, and I've been to quite a few now.
Because we're going to talk about the others in a minute.
But yeah, in terms of the atmosphere and the vibe and the people that go there, the size of it, it's not too big, but it's not just like you and a bloke with a dog on a string in the middle of a field somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just lovely, and I can't recommend it. Whether I work with these guys or not, I can't recommend the festival highly enough. It's amazing. Yeah.
Now, your EU Fest,
Yeah.
EU Fest, that's your company that you run people.
Yeah.
Is it just from airport to or do you book up, do you sell tickets? Tell me about your involvement with stuff like that and how you got involved in the first place.
So EU Fest is a company that really my wife would take the credit for setting it all up 10 years ago, because she's Serbian and there's a massive festival in Serbia called Exit Festival, which is actually held in her mum's hometown, Novi Sad. And so when it first started up, her cousin was on the phone, was going, "You've got to come to this festival, it's amazing." And we started going. We'd go every year because it was in the summer. We were going there anyway to see the family. And we would go to the festival, and then the festival got more popular, and a lot of our mates started asking about going. Because there's loads of British people suddenly wanted to go to this random festival in Serbia. But it was really hard to get to. You couldn't fly to Serbia in those days. You had to fly to Budapest and then get a train and stand up for 9 hours next to a toilet. And because there was a bunch of our mates who were going to go, we thought, well, wouldn't it be easier just like hire a coach, hire a minibus for all of us? And I thought we'd hire a bigger bus. We could sell the extra seats on the internet and travel there for nothing. And we ended up doing 8 buses that year because people kept emailing going, "You've got any more buses? Well, my plane's landing at this time instead of this time. Could you put on another bus?" We're like, "Okay, yeah." And so we thought, maybe we've got something here. And so we continued doing Exit for about 2 years, and then I was getting quite jealous because I had a really crappy, horrible job working in PR, making logistics sound interesting.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, if we did more festivals, maybe I could come and do this with you instead of doing my horrible PR job.
Yeah.
And so we did. We went around Europe, went on a bit of a road trip with our 18-month-old daughter actually at the time, and just travelled around Europe in our little Ford Fiesta, just looking for places where they had festivals and trying to find bus companies and apartment companies and stuff. And it just all seemed to fall together.
So you've done the legwork then, haven't
you?
You've done it the hard way.
Yeah, it was a massive gamble, but sometimes they pay off. And now we do about a dozen festivals across Europe, Germany, Spain, Croatia, Slovakia. We don't do the one in Serbia anymore, which is a shame. But
how come?
Well, a lot of the festivals these days do their own kind of transport services, because our main thing is your original question we do airport transfers. So you fly to an airport so say you fly to Barcelona, you want to get to Benicassim Festival, I might have to get a train from the airport to the city centre and catch a bus, and it's all a bit of a faff, and it's all in Spanish and you don't really speak the language, but we just do a bus from the airport straight to the festival site, and at the end of it we pick you up again and take you back to the airport, and it's all in English. And you can pay in pounds, and if you've got a problem with your booking, you can speak to someone in English, and so it's quite a popular service for a lot of youngsters who go to our festivals. They might not be, they might not have travelled too many times before outside of the UK. So we're just there to help them out with that, and we sell tickets for some of the festivals that we cover. We sell apartments for a lot of them as well. Yeah, just rent apartments to people who don't really feel like camping, because some of the festivals can be pretty hot. Yeah. And when you've been out till 6 o'clock in the morning party, you don't really want to wake up in a tent 2 hours later. And that's what we do. We've had staff before, like me and the missus, and we had a little office and a couple of workers. At the moment, it's just the 2 of us again. But see how things go the next couple of years. We might try and build it back up again.
Yeah. And the other ones, your German festivals and the one in Spain. What's the biggest festival that you get involved in?
Benicassim in Spain is pretty big for us.
Paul Weller played that a few years ago, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Noel Gallagher played there with High Flying Bird. Everyone's played there. Prodigy, you name a band, basically, they played there.
It has got a great reputation, hasn't it, that festival?
It's basically like Leeds or Reading, but in Spain, by the sea,
And sun.
And sun, yeah. You don't need your wellies, like you said. So the music's fantastic. So we get a lot of people going there from the UK, and we just help them all out, get there and get back in one piece. Mostly in one piece, anyway.
Mm-hmm. And your taste of music, what floats your boat?
Pretty much that, really. Sort of Paul Weller and Prodigy and Noel Gallagher, and I'm quite old school in a lot of my musical taste. Doors and Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that. I'm about 20 years behind the time, I think. In about 20 years' time, I might suddenly wake up to stuff that people listen to today. But
are you listening to much stuff today?
Well, at the moment, I'm listening to like wall to wall, all about the music entries, which is fantastic. Because we were talking about this earlier. There's so many amazing bands out there who don't get the kind of opportunities that they need, and they're just like bubbling away, working their balls off. And if we can help one of them just get one kind of step up, we might uncover the next like superstar one day. Doing
they're
this.
out there.
Oh yeah, and they're absolutely and they're working their balls off, and they're playing like every gig in their area. Like 3 times a week. And just going for it. They're practicing every day after work. They've all got real jobs. But they just love their music, and for them, that's what it's all about.
You see, in the old days, we used to have FM radio stations that would play the music. You'd
have. Are they now?
Yeah, well,
it's you guys now.
It's the internet, isn't it? Really. Yeah. But so the thing is, with the internet, it's so fragmented. And you have lots and lots of different ones, and a few people. I mean, some of the internet radio stations, there's probably a couple of blokes in a garage, and in bedrooms and in different, and it's a kind of a hobby more so than a profession, which you get with the AM. Well, it's not the AM now, but the FM radio stations. Sadly, it's the ones that care, them ones that do it for hobby, that ones that do it for just the love of music.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're the ones that you really need to get hold of, because they're diamonds.
Yeah. Like I said, that's kind of how we started out, doing it after work in our spare time as a bit of a hobby, and for us it worked out. Doesn't for everyone, but I don't know much about yours, so yours seem quite slick and professional, but
we try our best, slick and professional. Slick, professional,
right, slick,
perhaps not.
Slick, you know what you're doing.
We're just two blokes that sit,
that love your music.
Yeah, we do, and we just have a laugh. We take the piss. We link up with people, and we just help. And that's what we do. And we've linked up with Rachel at Northern Exposure. So together we're a team, and we're just spreading the love and sharing the music. Really, it's not rocket science, is it?
It's not.
If you like a record, play the damn thing. Why do you have to go to a committee, or it appears in London, where there's 1 or 2 people that completely run the industry, and they make all the decisions? I don't get that.
But see, you've got the freedom to do that because you're not operating in that kind of bubble there. You're on the outside doing your own thing.
Exactly,
But you're probably hearing and listening to a hell of a lot more interesting music.
Phenomenal.
Than those guys who are, they sit down at the desk, they've got a list in front of them of music you're allowed to like.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything that's not on the list doesn't get a look in.
No, it doesn't.
It's stupid.
And, these are, I'm going to use the word artists loosely. They play the game. I looked at Little Mix the other day. They went on stage and got nothing more than cheese wire. And it's the image, it's the kind of pop, pleb culture that just grinds on me. If I'm absolutely honest, I can't stand it.
And I'm going to sound like a real old man here.
Well, I am.
I'm catching up, don't I? But before my daughter went to school, because I've got 3 kids now, my oldest one's 9, and before she went to school, I used to educate her about maybe play some Beach Boys or like some Jimi Hendrix or Foo Fighters, and she used to love all this music. And then she came in from school one day singing, One Direction. I was like, where'd you hear that? I was like, we were playing it in class. So what, they're teaching you this crap now at school?
Yep.
This is what I'm paying my taxes for, so you can learn about One Direction. And now, she likes all that. She doesn't like Justin Bieber, so I feel like I've scored a victory there. But, that kind of manufactured, cheesy pop. Okay, she's a 9-year-old girl. She's going to like that kind of stuff. But all my hard work in trying to get her to appreciate proper music, I feel like it's kind of it's gone by the wayside a little bit. And if she's going to be like that, then every other kid who's her age is going to be influenced by the same things. It's all on TV. It's all over the
yeah.
radio.
Yeah.
You know, it's all like glamorous and big X Factor and The Voice and I think you just have to like go on telly now to be famous, and that's how you become a successful singer.
Yeah.
And you know what you're supposed to do is get your mates and get some shitty old instruments and lock yourself in your garage for a few months and just beat the hell out of them. You know, that's how you learn music. You don't learn it by going on telly and getting voted for on The Voice. But,
no, totally agree.
That's just my opinion.
No, again, I think that opinion would be echoed by millions out there, and millions share that frustration because you are told exactly what to listen to, what you will like. What I don't get as well is radio stations that play, and I haven't got a problem with records of yesteryear because there's some great records. You know, I love to listen to, you know, Paul Weller at any time, or the Jam, or the Style Council, but I'd rather listen to music I don't necessarily like, but it's new and fresh, rather than constant classics from the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s. I view that as a waste of airspace. I really do. And also, there's another radio station that's just started up where they're playing records of only dead people.
Wow.
I know, I thought that. So, you can't play the Beatles, but you can play John Lennon. And like you're thinking, how, like, where do they?
So do they all have to be dead? We can play Nirvana.
Presumably, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. If they're dead, you can play them. You know. But I mean, to get on that playlist, it's a bit of a pisser, ain't it? Really.
You don't really want to be on it, do you?
Do you want to be on that? We'll get you on one playlist, but you've got to die first.
Fair enough.
And you just think, where's the playlist for the new wave of artists? The next wave, I mean, sadly we lost David Bowie, you know, we're losing an awful lot of these older artists. Where's the next wave coming through? Where they're coming? They're not coming through because they're not allowed to.
Yeah,
but they're out there. They're still out there.
They're all out there playing their local pub and probably boring the crap out of them. And they go, what, you guys want to play here again? But they can't. Yeah. They can't get gigs without exposure. They can't get exposure because it's all locked down.
A vicious circle. Yeah. But again, it comes back to festivals like yourselves that do give these kids a chance. You've got a wonderful opportunity to play at a big festival and making contacts as well, because it's not just there that you're there and you've got, I don't know, 30 minutes, a 40-minute set. And then it's ta-ra, we're going to send you back to the airport.
You're an artist. You get to hang out backstage.
Exactly.
You know, you get to go. And Stop Drop Robot, when they won, they were like, they took one of our staff. Were like, "Where's Cat?" I've just gone backstage to watch Falls with the guys. It's like, what? Yeah. And I'm here. What's going on there? Yeah. But you know, there are perks to it. You know?
Of course,
and there's lots of really great festivals as well these days.
Yeah.
Which are just for unsigned bands and stuff. Yeah. That's a little pipe dream I've got in my head, but people already do it. But there's always, I don't think you can have too many of those kind of things. We've got enough commercial festivals, like big bands and big names and big budgets, but there are little ones out there where it's just for unsigned bands who just want to get up there and play in front of, you know, a crowd of thousands instead of like 6 men down the pub. Yeah. Yeah.
And it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility for people that have watched these artists perform to, like, for instance, say a Florence and the Machine.
Yeah.
Blimey, I really liked you.
Yeah.
Really liked you. I'll do a bit of sharing, bit of tweeting, bit of this, bit of that.
Absolutely.
I'll have a look at you, and then, you know, one of these days when I'm on my next tour, I'll invite you to come and do a bit of touring with me. That's where you learn, don't you? That's the networking part. Are you on Twitter as well as Facebook?
Yeah, of course. I'm not very good at Twitter, but we are on it.
What's your Twitter account?
It's the same handle. It's WeAreAATM.
Okay.
Yeah, so look us up, give us a follow. You know, I'll probably just like bang on about the competition for the next month and a half.
But that's what you've got to do. You've got to keep banging on. Yeah. And then presumably when the competition's finished and then the festival's finished, as soon as those lights come down in Croatia, your lights start going on because you're starting to plan the next year, aren't you?
You got to, really. You're always thinking ahead to next year and what can we do different, what can we do better to make it better, and things like hooking up with you today and with Rachel. I think that's going to give us a lot more oomph next year. You know, because we needed a bit of a kick up the arse recently, because some of the guys who originally founded the competition with us, they're off doing other things, and you know, we'll still make something, but it's all a voluntary thing. No one makes any money from
Yeah.
this, you know what I mean? So it's hard to convince people to devote too much time to it. And so sometimes you need a bit of fresh blood and some fresh ideas and a bit more energy just to shake things up a bit. And through you guys, you know, through Rachel, we're going to reach different people, and those different people might give us a new way of looking at things, and all of a sudden we can explode with it.
I'll tell you what would be really good as well, when you do your the festival in Croatia, to do a radio show from there.
That'd be fantastic.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could give this little bit of equipment to you. It's
Right.
only a little thing, and it
Little handheld mic job,
it fits in this little thing here.
Yeah.
You've got something like that, like say a passport, for instance, that would fit in there as well.
Yeah.
So we could give Miss Brown the passport, the bag, the equipment, and say, why don't you go backstage and do a radio show from Croatia? She'd be proper up for it.
Oh, I bet she would, yeah. I know she is.
Yeah.
I need to speak to the festival and sort of sort out like press accreditation and stuff like that, but that's something that I'm really hoping to do. But I don't want to make any promises just yet, because
I know.
It's not up to me, you know.
We can't make promises, but what we can do...
We can have intentions, though.
Yeah, and we can ask the questions, can't we? We can always say... People can always say no.
Yeah.
So, you know, you see this gorgeous... I mean, we're both married, so it's a bit different. Yeah. But you see a gorgeous bird up the bar, and ask her if she wants a drink. She can only tell you no, can't she? You know, and we can't
said
do
yes.
that. Well, yeah, not us, but if you're a single bloke. Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. Just ask the damn question. Ask the question, you get a knockback, and then sometimes they think, you know, I've told you no, Dermot, but thinking about it, I think that could be really good. And then your other festivals that you work with, see how hard you're working, and you're creating these radio shows and a lot of vibes through Twitter, through Facebook, and they go, do you know something?
We could do with some of that.
Exactly, yeah. Why don't we do our own little radio shows there, and we could do a bit of... We actually need you, Dermot, to do this. Yeah. So get your people in, and we can work together, and we can bring these festivals to life on a piece of equipment like that. Because we've got the tracks as well that we can play the recorded tracks to, or you can record them live. Totally up to you. I think there's legs in it, mate.
Yeah, no, I do as well. Certainly something to... Like I say, asking a question doesn't cost anything, does it?
No, it doesn't.
And the worst thing they can do is say no.
I know.
But I think, we can make that happen. I don't know if she'll be able to like hang out with Florence backstage or something, but I can certainly give her unfettered access to the winners of the competition. Yeah. And just being out there and like seeing the festival, and
great experience, isn't it?
Oh, it'd be amazing. It would be amazing for the profile of the competition as well, in terms of like, we tell you all this is happening, but no one really sees what happens.
No.
After because the winner goes to Croatia, I don't want to film it on my camera. Yeah. And I look at it when I get home, I was like, that's not really worth putting up anywhere because it looks a bit crap, and then it never sees the light of day. No. So to have something like that.
But this will see the light of day. Yeah. Because this will go all over social media. Yeah. It'll go onto our websites. It'll go onto our radio show. And where you've got... your video with Franz Ferdinand and all the rest of the boys and girls that have played over there in the last 10 years, you've got a recorded show as well as that. Yeah, and
to show as well, people. It's something for like you said. You looked at the website for the competition this year. I thought there's got to be a catch.
I did, yes.
It's got to be too good to be true.
Yeah.
But if Rachel they go right, so I'm out here now with this band who've won the competition. Yeah. And they're hanging out backstage with Florence and the Machine, and we're doing this and we're doing that. People can listen to that and go, Jesus, it really is true.
Yeah. and that is the thing. Yeah. You can get that horse and you can lead it to the water, but you can't make it drink it. But when they realise that the water tastes really nice, they want to drink it.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's going forward and people seeing what's gone on. Because, again, they're still going to say, there's a catch, I ain't going to do it. And all we can do is stress that there isn't. Enter the competition. Let's have again the email address.
Yeah, the email address is aatm@eufest.com. Or you can just find us through Facebook, facebook.com/weareaatm.
Yeah. And it's as easy as that. You've got to be in it to win it. Yeah. And when you do win it, you're off to Croatia. All expenses paid.
Yep.
What a great way to spend a few days playing your music to thousands of people, rubbing shoulders with artists that have sold millions of records and networking your band, your art out there.
Yeah. That's a whole new market as well. I mean, most bands in this country are never going to get to get exposure to the Croatian market.
Yeah.
And it might not be the one they're particularly aiming for, you know. But there's a lot of people in Croatia, and a lot of them really like their music, and they like decent music.
Yeah.
You know, and the bands we've taken out there before, they've had like loads of fans like liking their Facebook page from Croatia, you know, and all of a sudden they're international artists.
Yeah.
You know, they might only be international like Lincoln and Croatia, but that's it. You know, at least they're out there doing something a bit more than if they hadn't entered.
I mean, does it matter where you sell 20 million records, whether it's in Europe or whether it's in the UK?
Yeah, of course
it doesn't matter, does it? A sale is a sale, and a fan is a fan.
Yeah, and if you can find people, you know, abroad who like your music, then there's a good chance that someone in the next country is going to like your music. Someone in America might like your music.
Japan is a great market.
Yeah, you know, so at least you're taking that first step.
Yeah,
you know, and getting yourself a bit more exposure to a bigger audience, and that's got to be a good thing. No matter how big a band you are, that's got to be a good thing.
Everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
And all I'll just say is, guys, when you do go there and you take drink, just be careful of that bloody bridge.
Yeah. And wear your life jackets.
Yeah, it looks like the I'm a Celebrity bridge down it, but instead of over the trees, just on the top of a lake.
Basically some lumps of plastic floating on the lake, all tied together.
Yeah.
But it's completely safe. Most people get across it without falling off very much at all.
And past winners, we've named a few. What other past winners have you had that you've taken out there?
So first year was Roger the Mascot. Second year was Stop Drop Robot. And then last year was Catalina Kicks, who I haven't given a mention to at all so far. So yeah, big plug for Catalina Kicks. They're a proper rock and roll band from London. They're awesome.
Talk to me about them.
Yeah. Well, they're a 4-piece band. They've got a girl bass player, which is always cool, I think. Yeah, and the band have been together in like various formations for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And they just play like proper balls out rock and roll. I really like. They're going to be headlining the final this year as well, because that's a bit of a tradition now. We get the winners from last year to come and play at the final the next year, so they can, while the judges are deliberating and making their decision, they get up and do a bit of a set. They went out there, had an absolutely amazing time, and they absolutely loved it. Smashed the festival. Yeah, you know, it was really, really good. Yeah, so yeah, definitely check them out if you get a chance on Facebook. And
Rachel is one of the judges. Do we know who the other two are yet at the moment?
We've got another one who's Sam from Stop Drop Robot, who won a couple of years back, and the other one yet to be confirmed. We've got one of the other guys who helps you organise the competition. Is a chap called Wes from Discover, which is another website focused on unsigned music.
Okay.
And he's like our reserve, but we're hoping to get someone who's a bit of a step up from that.
Yeah.
But we haven't got them confirmed yet, so watch this space. But yeah, there's going to be 3 judges from the industry, one way or another, who know their music and know what they're talking about.
Superb.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Anything else that you want to touch upon?
No, I think that's pretty much covered it all.
All bases.
Yeah.
We've gone there for 36, 37 minutes almost, coming up to.
Cool.
And I think we've covered absolutely everything. We've explained to all the artists that there is no catch. No. What you see is what you get. If it's, you know...
Yeah, this one actually is not too good to be true.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it's all about the music.
That's what it says on the tin is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So get your tracks in, guys. Enter this wonderful competition, and you could be on the plane to Croatia and playing in front of thousands at Europe's top festival.
It is now.
Exactly. Dermot, can I thank you for your time, sir?
Thank you very much.
Thank you
for having me.
Cheers. Well, thank you. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, folks.
Cheers.